Hi guys, welcome back to the survival project. In the last episode, we built up this little bamboo forest here, and we made this bridge as well, which is looking really good. We also built up a little armor repair station up on the hill on the other side of these bamboos. And I said I was going to make a security, and I've done that now. I really struggled to get a decent design out of this, but I'm actually really happy with the final outcome. Added some little purple flowers there as well, just to sort of make it look a little bit better. And you can see our turtles are still just sort of hanging out on the island. I was going to have sand there originally, but I decided not to just because I didn't like the overall look. Kind of makes sense for the turtles to have sand, so I might put something down that end, but I'm not 100% sold on that yet. At any rate, it has gotten dark pretty damn quickly, so I've got a little time lapse for us to jump into, which is me building up this building over here, which is the little enchanting station that I said about making, I think maybe in the first or second episode, but I've done that now. And you can see there's loads and loads of flowers and that over there. And I've done the same thing up there. I'm really happy with the way they look. But yeah, let's jump into the time lapse that I've got set up, and then we can sort of talk about it a bit. So here we are at the little armor repair station. Just as a reminder of how this works, we're just feeding bottles of enchanting into here, and when we stand on this pressure plate, we set off an observer clock that basically just fills me with experience and I can fix everything up. We get loads and loads of these bottles of enchanting just from trading with our villagers. It's so cheap to get hold of them. I mean, it's literally 1 emerald for a bottle of enchanting, so yeah, it's just really simple to get hold of it, especially with the bookcase back to book broken trade that you can get. But yeah, let's just take a bit of a look at this area. So I decided I wanted a load of white flowers around this bit here, and I went to multiple times. I went to a forest flower biome and I completely shredded it for all of these flowers. I think if I'm gonna keep using vast amounts of flowers like this, I'm gonna need to set up an actual little flower farm there. But yeah, I was just aiming for all the different white flower variants, so there's quite a lot going on here. Got like the lily of the valley and all the other ones. I forget what they're called, azure bluets, tulips. But yeah, I really love the effect that it has on the area. So it's all starting to look really great. I've also filled out loads of the terrain over here, just sort of leveling it out a bit. And I've had an idea of something that I really want to do. So I've always sort of had it in the back of my mind that I want to collect all of the mobs and have them in like, I don't know, for some reason I always sort of defaulted to thinking about doing it as a science lab sort of thing. Now I'm still really tempted to do the science lab idea because I can do that and put all of the hostile mobs in there. But I started thinking about zoos, and yeah, what I thought would be pretty cool is if I clear out a load of this area, sort of level it out a little bit, but I'll be playing around with the terrain. But yeah, it's sorting all of the terrain out and building a little zoo there and making little habitats for the different animals in the game. So we've got like polar bears, so we can make like a miniature snowy biome for them to reside in within this zoo. We've got the pandas now as well. We've got parrots. We've got the cats. We've got ocelots. So I'd like to be able to get actual ocelots rather than cats because I think that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, just get all the different animal variants in there. So wolves and dogs. And yeah, I think we can come up with some pretty cool stuff. Especially with 115 coming. We're going to have the bees eventually. I'm not going to update until there's a completely stable version of 115. I don't want to jump into the snapshots. But yeah, there's just an absolute sea of white. And you can see it's still not complete because there's loads and loads of space over here that still needs doing. So I've still got a load of filling in to do. I ran out of stone again, so I kind of just stopped. But yeah, I need to get all of this bit sort of built up, get the cliff facing in. I need to decide what level I want to start building this zoo at so that I can start doing the cliff facing around the edge here as well. And yeah, I'll just take you in to actually see the enchanting station. So the build is very, very similar to the one up on the mountain there. And I did that for a reason. I want this to be our sort of like little prayer shrines. So especially playing Sekiro, I see there's lots of stuff like this. Just little prayer shrines just sort of dotted about. So yeah, I thought it'd just be cool to add that in. But yeah, it's a really simple setup. It's got the enchanting table, a couple of chests to put lapis in, and whatever else I want if I've got a couple of books that I've enchanted up. I don't really see myself needing to use this very much unless I lose all of my equipment. I mean, I've basically got the best sword I could want in the game. And yeah, I could probably, well, even the pickaxes and the shovel, they're all great. My armor could do with being a little bit better, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with where I'm at with all of that sort of stuff. And just on the outside here, we got like a little, like, I was going to call it a garden, but I'm just going to call it an overlook area so we could come out and have a look over this bay. Eventually, I want to sort of block this bay off a little bit, and I actually want to trap some dolphins and that in it. And eventually, they're going to be able to come all the way along through this cave, wherever they want to go, along the river, under the bridge, around here, and yeah, basically just swim along the entire river. But yep, this brings me to where I want our next project for the day to be, which is up here. And I want to add like a little sort of a pond. I want to add a bit of a pond in this area because I think that'd be pretty cool. But what I was thinking about was actually sort of leveling all of this down a bit more and having it extend over this way a little bit. Not completely, but, you know, just so that this bridge is, or well, these wooden planks kind of become an actual bridge. Because I think that'd be a pretty nice little touch. It's not going to come all the way around the building, so I'm not going to do like a complete moat, but I was thinking something sort of like within this sort of a vein where we just clear it out. And yeah, we have a nice little pond here. I'm going to have a pathway sort of as a bridge as well that's going to lead over this way as well. And then over here, I actually want to make another little cave area just so that we can easily get from this side to that side. But I can also extend the river along there and connect this up because I really want to keep this river sort of flowing throughout the city because I think that'll look pretty good when we eventually get to that. But yeah, I'm thinking it's probably time for another time lapse now. So what I'll be doing is sorting out this little pond area and expanding this little bamboo forest as well. You can see I've kind of made it a little bit lessened here, so it's not quite as dense around these bits. I'm going to have to do something to prevent mob spawning because I've already had pillagers turning up here, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, I like the idea of like having it sort of start to become thinner and thinner until we get into this opening. And the bamboo forest is going to continue around a bit that way, and it's going to come around here a little ways as well. I'm not 100% decided how far around I want it to go though. So yeah, I'll probably wind up extending this bit around a little bit as well, making this a little bit of a better shape to be fair, because this terrain's kind of squared itself off and that doesn't look too great. So yeah, we're going to have to do something with that. But yeah, I think that's enough talking there. It's time to jump into time lapse. this is what we got so far. Everything's coming together. We got a load of seagrass down there and texture variation. I've chucked some kelp in there as well, so eventually that's going to grow. I want to add lily pads and stuff like that to this as well, just to make it look a little bit more complete, because at the moment it just looks like a flat bed of water, which of course it is. And I also want to put coral fins in there, but I've not got any of them left, so I'm going to have to go raid a coral reef again. So I'm probably going to go off and do that and add those bits in. I was going to add into the time lapse me doing this bamboo forest as well, but I realise I've got a lot of grass to add in just to get the area looking right. Probably going to do that bit off camera as well, and then I can just come back in and show you guys what we've got. So yeah, I'm going to go gather up the bits I need and get this bit sorted out, and then we can jump on back in. Unfortunately, I'm actually completely out of time again for this episode. All of this has taken quite a long time to do, but hopefully in the next one all of this should be grown up and it should be sort of starting to look the way that we want. I didn't quite manage to get as much of this filled in as I wanted to either, but yeah, we're going to get there, one step at a time. I still feel like we've got a hell of a lot done in this episode, so we've got to gather up some resources for the next one just to finish this little pond area off. I also added some grass and that in here, and I added these lights in just to keep everything nice and lit up. But yeah, with all of that being said, I really hope you've enjoyed the episode. We've got a lot done today, and yeah, it is looking good. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.